So, today I'll be talking about Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, which is the war before the war. The first chapter of Bhagavad Gita isn't about kings, arrows, or war. It's about every moment inside a human being when he has to choose between what is right and what feels right, what is comfortable and what is true. Before any great transformation, before you manifest something powerful, there is always a breakdown moment. This is what exactly chapter 1 shows us the moment before awakening. It begins not with clarity but with confusion, the kind that shakes your soul. When you're standing in front of something massive that can be a dream, a decision, or a destiny, and suddenly you feel your confidence is collapsing. Start questioning your own strength, your purpose, and your relationship. You start trembling at the idea of what it might cost to become who you're meant to be. It's not weakness, it's the universe inviting you into awakeness. In the first chapter, the battlefield represents your own mind, crowded, noisy, and all opposing voices. One side it says, follow your duties, manifest whatever you desire, go all in. But other side says, what if you fail? What if you lose the people you love? The inner war. That's what the first chapter truly is. If you look at it deeply, all it says is before you manifest something real in your life, you must face your attachments. Manifestation isn't about getting what you want, it's about becoming ready for what you asked for. And readiness does not come from comfort, it comes from collapse. Arjuna's collapse is every one of us when we realize success will cost us something we love. It is when you want to grow, but the growth means losing the older version of yourself, your comfort zone, your safety, your circle, losing everything. That's why his bow slips. That's why his hand shakes. Because every human being trembles before getting into the higher version of themselves. The real beauty of this chapter is hidden. It shows that clarity is born only after confusion. You can't hear the truth when your mind is filled with guilt, fear, and judgments. You can't manifest whatever you want when you want validation, outcomes, and results from others. So, the chapter 1 is not about the story of despair. It's the preparation of divine alignment. It's the moment where the ego breaks so that the soul can finally speak. In your own life, how many times you have avoided your battlefields? You distract yourself with noise, comfort, and temporary peace just to avoid the truth. You convince yourself that it's wrong to fight for your dreams because you think that others might not understand it. That's the Arjuna within you. And Krishna, the voice of clarity, stays silent in this chapter because first you have to break enough to listen. Every great manifestation begins with surrender. Surrender not to weakness, but surrender to truth. You stop pretending you are strong and you admit, I don't know what to do. That moment of surrender creates a space for wisdom to enter. And that's what the chapter 1 teaches us. Until you empty your illusions, you can't receive the truth. It's not about the courage on the battlefields. It's about the courage within. The courage to face what you feel. The courage to question your own beliefs. The courage to accept that you are attached. The Gita begins with a man trembling because that trembling is necessary before a transformation. Every human awakening starts here, not in glory, but in fear, guilt, and confusion. That is what manifestation is all about. You can't manifest abundance with a mind clinging to lack. You can't manifest love if you're still defining yourself through other person. You can't manifest peace with a heart full of resentment. This chapter asks you one raw question. What are you attached to that's blocking your destiny? It might be a relationship, a comfort, or an identity. It's not telling you to cut off everything. It's telling you to see clearly what rules your choices. Because you can't fight for your higher self while being loyal to your lower attachments. In today's world, everyone talks about manifesting their dream life, car, success, and love. But chapter 1 says before you manifest something, manifest clarity. Know who you are, why you want it, and what are you willing to lose for it. This is why it's not just a scripture, it's a psychological mirror. It tells you that breakdowns are not shameful, it is necessary. When you question your path and identity, that is not failure, it is your consciousness evolving. If you really understand this chapter, you will realize that it is not about a warrior losing his courage. It is about a soul realizing that action without awareness is empty. This is where modern manifestation often goes wrong. People want results without alignment. They want outcomes without readiness. They want the fruit without becoming the tree. Arjuna's breakdown tells us that you cannot manifest your destiny until and unless you're ready to question each and every illusion that shaped you. The first chapter ends with not answers but silence because wisdom does not enter in noise. It finally enters when you say, I don't know. The first spiritual law of manifestation is the law of surrender. When you let go of control, the life starts showing you direction. Manifestation isn't about forcing reality, it's about matching its frequency. Your frequency rises every time when you choose truth over illusion, awareness over impulsiveness, and love over fear. So next time when you're standing in middle of your own Kurukshetra, a job decision, a relationship or a moral conflict, don't rush to fix it or don't run away. Just sit there and feel what you feel. Because in the exact moment of confusion, life is whispering your next lesson. That's what chapter 1 is about. The pause before the purpose and the death of the illusion before the birth of the truth. It is a reminder that before the universe gives you what you ask for, it removes what is not meant to come with you. And when you understand that, you'll stop seeing breakdowns as endings. You'll see them as doors to higher consciousness, to true manifestation, and to the peace that cannot be shaken. That's the real essence of the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Not war, not fear, but awakening. The awakening that happens when you finally face yourself.